from, I think it was 2018, might have been 2017. Available now on Netflix. I watched Mary and the Witch's Flower. And let me double check and make sure that's the name of this movie. This is an anime, and you'll notice the little production type logo at the front. I forgot what they call the studio here. But it's a continuation of sorts of Studio Ghibli, or is it Ghibli? I've heard it both ways. I think picked up by people who used to work at that, and then it kind of became defunct, but I believe Studio Ghibli has been resurrected. Anyways, Mary and the Witch's Flower is based on a 70s novel. I think it's either American or British, but this is an anime. Gotta say, wasn't super crazy impressed. The animation quality differs from scene to scene. Sometimes not so bad. It mostly looks like a theatrical anime, though anymore with all the way things are going digitally, it can be difficult to discern. There's this witch who is running off at the start, redheaded witch, grabs some seeds that some creatures want anyways, and she takes them off into the forest, and they're being chased, and there's some explosions and shit. Crash lands in the forest. The broom seems to get stuck in the forest and stuff, and some passage of time occurs. Now we have this little girl, Mary. She's going to go live with her great aunt or some shit for a while. And she's trying to help out around the place. Wants to kind of grow some flowers, but hurts them more than she helps. Wants to sweep, but the broom's too big. Goes off into the woods because there's some cat she's chasing. It's like, hey, the cat's black and now it's gray. What's the deal? Oh, hey, there's two cats. What's these cats doing? And they're looking at this blue glowing flower, and the chick's like, hey, this probably ain't poisonous. I'm going to touch it and stuff. Well, eventually it becomes the case where there's this boy, Peter, and I swear when she learns the name, Peter, that got on my nerves. He kind of teases her for some shit, and eventually goes missing. Well, okay, but backtrack a little here. She squishes the flower things together, and then all of a sudden the witch's broomstick activates, takes her and one of the cats off high into the sky, and they they've got like the auto nav on to this witch college, where there's some cat who's some kind of broom master guardian. Tells them, oh, hey, you're at this college over here. And as they go in, they're greeted quite fondly and taken through this unnecessary guided tour that is beyond what you would get. You don't go into classrooms and interrupt them and make the classroom about the person on tour. That's some bullshit. But she takes over the classrooms. It is this major center of attention. There's a lot of students there, but she's doing a magic on a kid. She's like, wow, look at the power she's got and all this shit. She's like the best witch. She's so good, But then she's at the main chick's quarters in charge, and I think that's played by Kate Winslet, who I don't like, voiced as. Also want to mention there's a gardener. I think the gardener is voiced by Jim Broadbent. Or if he's not the gardener, maybe he's this doctor guy. Anyways, that'd make more sense. But so the head witch mistress and doctor, they want to transform animals into magical creatures, but it seems a little cruel. The girl doesn't seem to be super down with this, but then accidentally steals a magic book from the head witch's room, and as she's leaving, she's like wants to get away, and it's like, hey, they're walking closer. No, I want to go. Okay, I'm going home. Bye. I'll never go there again. I don't know why she said that. They weren't mean to her. They seemed to want to help her learn and improve her magic and shit. And she's like, glad I got away from them. That didn't add up. but her powers go away after some time, away from the smushed flowers on the hand, I guess. Anyways, this boy Peter gets captured, and the witch is onto her being a fake witch. Like, hey, Mary, we know you're a fake witch. We captured this boy. You got to bring us the flowers, and we'll give you the boy back. So they capture Mary and the boy, find out that they transformed one of his cats into some kind of salamander-looking shit. But Mary has some flowers on her, does some spells, smush them together. What's done is done until it's undone, and now everything gets transformed back, and somehow that unlocks a door, whatever. And then the animals run off, and she tries to run away, gets away, but Peter gets captured, and so he's still captured, and now Mary ends up at this house somewhere off in the distance, and it used to be the old house of her aunt, who was the witch at the beginning, who said, hey, head witch chick and the doctor guy, they were great teachers, but they became obsessed with these flowers that they had incredible magic. You got to stop them from getting the flowers, blah, blah, blah. I tried to hide them, but I guess I ended up putting them in the woods like an idiot. You know, if these flowers exist at all, how can they be this rare? I mean, there has to be another source. Are these the only ones there are? And just left them in the woods? And somehow that worked for you? Or if they were so powerful and needed to be stopped, why didn't you just, squish them all together and ruin them? What are the rules for witches here? Mary's related to a witch, so she's not considered a real witch. Like, she can't do magic unless she cheats. Do all the wizards and shit, witches, do they all cheat to get magic done? Like, what the hell? If you're going to have some magic in your shit, at least spell out some rules here. Damn it. So now Mary's like, okay, I'm going to use the last of the flowers. I'm going to go rescue Peter. She manages to pull this shit off. Eventually, head witch chick and the doctor get surrounded by the animals they transform, so who knows what's going to happen to them. But, Mary has reset the bar and everything seems to be normal again, and she says, that's the last time I'll ever do magic. Really setting shit up for a sequel there with this last time I'm ever doing this. We never got to experience the witch university college life. It's like Harry Potter saw this shit and was like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if they actually did something with this whole University of Magic thing they set up that they never explored? Yeah, okay, I guess I'll rip that off, but my students are actually going to go there for years. Yeah. So it just seems like a failure to execute on what has been provided here. Now, granted, I have not read the original novel. I mean, if it's a book, surely there was more to it. Maybe the girl actually went to the college and discovered this stuff instead of just deciding that she didn't want to be there anymore and these people must be bad. And them showing their hands so quick instead of really learning that she got the flowers. I mean, they very easily could have found out about this. Like, hey, your hands are blue and you got... Oh, you had some flowers? Oh, okay, cool. Okay, can you show us where those are? All right, neat. End of movie. And why couldn't it have gone down like that? The visual style's okay. The story's not super compelling. I don't think you're going to find it particularly funny. I mean, it was light action, but it definitely didn't have comedic moments by any means. Yeah, I give Mary and the Witch's Flower... gotta think about this here. I would give it 2 out of 4 stars.